Good morning. So I'm looking a little worse for the wear this morning because I am not feeling well. I haven't been sick in years, and I don't make a good sick person, so I apologize in advance. I'm still in my bathrobe. It's all good. I'm thinking positive thoughts and drinking lots of water and taking vitamin C and doing all that good stuff. So hopefully I can nip this in the bud and be feeling better soon. All right, so today we're going to talk about day 7 of the Rediscover Me Challenge because yay, we made it through the first week. Awesome. So on day 7 of each week of the challenge, one of the things that we're going to do is fill out a goals focus form for the week ahead. And part of what we do with this is we take a look at our successes and our roadblocks from the past week. And we also track any of our accomplishments that we had. And I think that this is such a good thing to build in for accountability because it really forces you to track your progress. I think that your progress should absolutely be trackable, and it gives you confidence. It helps build momentum and helps with motivation and all that good stuff. But it also gives you the opportunity to take a look and identify anything that got in the way of your goals for the past week. So I know we have lots of new pretties today. I want to say hi. I'm Allison. I am hosting a 28-day life coaching challenge here at Get Your Pretty On. It's absolutely free. You can sign up at getyourprettyon.com/new and go ahead and get started. We are a week into it, but that's okay. You're not behind. You can get caught up and continue to work through each day's exercise with me live here, or watch the lives and get caught up on YouTube, whatever works for you. But I hope you guys will join us. All right, so anyway, on to our goals focus form, because that's what we did yesterday. So the goals focus form is something that, again, we do on the last day of every week so that we can kind of reset for the coming week and know what we're going to be focusing on in the week ahead. And it helps us to have like that framework there for these are the steps that I'm going to take this week to work toward these goals. And I just wanted to touch a little bit on celebrating successes because that is something that's built into the goals focus form. I think that this is really crucial to accomplishing goals. And a lot of times, you know, we're so focused on the goal that we miss out on the journey. And I think that just as important as goal setting and accomplishing and all of that good stuff is who we become along the way to accomplishing the goals. You know, I read a quote this week that was really powerful about entrepreneurs, and it was saying, you know, it's not about reaching whatever your definition of success is. It's about the person that you become on that journey. And I think that that's true for everybody. And we tend to overlook the journey way too much and focus on the goal. And I do this myself. So again, I've been telling you, like, every day this challenge, it has just really been hitting me here because there's so many things that I still have to teach myself along the way. And I love this 28-day challenge because it's something that you can hit the reset button on and do at any point in time. So I think it's super important to remember that. But you really do have to stop and give yourself credit for progress, even if it's not happening at the speed you would like it to. Baby steps in the right direction are still in the right direction, right? And sometimes we take a few steps forward and a few steps back, and that's okay too. You know, give yourself credit this week for the snack you skipped, or for the sip of water you took instead of Diet Coke, or whatever your baby step may have been this week. So definitely do that. And you know, I have to tell myself this because if you're, you know, a really accomplishment-driven person, I tend to just like bulldoze on my way to accomplishing goals. I want to do them fast. I want to do them now. They need to be done yesterday. And just stepping back, being in the present moment, and really focusing on how I'm feeling right now. And also looking back to give myself credit for what it took to get here, instead of worrying about why I'm not 10 steps ahead of where I am, is really a challenge and something I have to be really focused on doing. So anyway, celebrate your successes because even the little ones will give you confidence and the motivation to keep going. All right, so now we're going to talk about the other side of the coin, which is acknowledging our roadblocks or identifying the things that maybe kept us from accomplishing some goals this week. I think it's really important to do this too. Again, these are like two sides of the same coin, right? But when you identify the roadblocks, then it also helps you in the future to say, uh-oh, this is a red flag. This is something I can nip in the bud. So really think about being a non-judgmental observer of the situation. So look at this from an outsider's perspective. Sometimes I play life coach with myself, and you can do this too. And look at a situation, try to be as objective as possible, and ask yourself what advice you would give to, one of your kids or a friend or a loved one who came to you in the same situation and, wanted to know what to do. So this week I didn't get as far along on one of the projects as I wanted to, and I had to step back and be non-judgmental observer and say, what got in the way? What caused this to happen? And one of the big things was mindset, which I've been talking about all week long, like the negative thoughts that come into my head. And being able to non-judgmentally say, okay, this was a mindset issue, instead of beating myself up over it. And nothing ever comes from beating yourself up over something. I'm just here to tell you right now, reset, take action, acknowledge the roadblock, and then let it go and move forward. That's the most important thing you can do, because if you just get caught up in this negative cycle of blaming yourself or feeling bad or beating yourself up, then it's never going to lead to anything good. So acknowledge the roadblock. Say, okay, I see this and I'm going to let it go, or I'm going to do whatever it takes. Like in this example with the mindset stuff, I have to tell myself, like, just really be my own therapist and say, does this serve you? Do these thoughts serve you? If not, then why are you still dwelling on them? Let them go, do the work, and move on. So whatever your roadblocks may be sure to track those on the goals focus form this week. I'm going to go quickly through the form. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, because if you're doing the challenge with me, you've already downloaded it, you've already filled it out, hopefully. If not, you can do that today. Again, there's no getting behind in this. You work at your own pace. But I do want to go through that really quickly. And I will be back here tomorrow. We're going to be talking about self-care, and we're going to be creating a self-care schedule, which again, I think is really important. If it's not scheduled, it's not real for most of us. And really just prioritizing yourself, making yourself a priority, and saying, I'm important enough to create this schedule to take care of myself, to keep myself in optimum condition. I think, a lot of us tend to not do that. So I really want you to join me back here for that exercise too. But let's just run through the goals focus form really quickly. So this is, again, something you're going to print out at the end of each week. Your first question, and you can do this in your journal, you can do it on the form, you can do it wherever you want to, and you don't have to answer all the questions. These are just suggestions for keeping you on track. So the first question is, what did I accomplish last week specifically related to my goals? So at this point in the challenge, we all have that master goals list, those 5 overriding goals that you made for the year, and then we have the goals that we set in the different modules, like the health and wellness and the self-care and the relationships. So all of that is in there. So you're going to ask yourself if you've made any progress toward any of those goals this past week. Next up, you're going to ask if what I did not accomplish, even though I intended to, why not, and what got in the way. This is where we're going to talk about those roadblocks. Which goals will I tackle in the coming week? And I ask you to choose 1 through 5 and to be really specific about this. So just list the goals here. And then next up, you're going to list out the actions that you're going to take toward those goals. So this has to be something super specific. We talk a lot about baby steps in this challenge. So maybe you list out 5 baby steps that you can take this week that are going to move you in the direction of your goals. Again, these don't have to be big things. This needs to be manageable, doable, something that is going to appeal to you on a daily basis and not going to make you dread working on your goals. So keep that in mind. Next up is, which tolerations or energy drains will I tackle this week? We've been talking a lot about tolerations this week, and those little things in our environment that are quick fixes that oftentimes we overlook, and they build up and build up and build up. These, again, are easy ways that we can clear up bandwidth in our lives. So which of those are going to tackle this week, and what actions are going to need to remove your toleration? So maybe your toleration is batteries in the smoke detector. I don't know. It's chirping. So put on your grocery list. I'm going to get batteries at the store. Or one of my tolerations I tackled this week and I talked about, I said that my printer in my office was out of paper. And all I had to do was walk upstairs and grab a pack of printer paper and bring it down and put it in. And I did that this week. Yay. But now printer ink is out because I've been using the printer again, right? So I need to say, Alexa, put printer ink on the shopping list.
I've added printer ink to your shopping list.
Awesome. See how easy that was? That's called taking an action on a toleration. All right, so the next one is, how will I nurture myself in the upcoming week? Please list out as many daily self-care and healthy habits to do, as well as any weekly ones. Note, this may stay the same week after week. That's okay. It's a good reminder to do them. So things that you might put on this list for nurturing yourself are, I will drink 64 ounces of water a day, or I will meditate or pray for 20 minutes a day, or I will do yoga once a week or something like that. But these are things that are just rituals that we're going to start building into your schedule. And again, if these are the same every week, it's not a problem. Next one is, if there are any self-care or healthy habits I didn't do last week, even though I said I would, what are they? List them out, no judgment. All right, so this is your space where you can say, this is what got in the way, I didn't do this. Next up, and I think this one is super, super important. What am I feeling really grateful for in my life right now, specifically from this past week? Again, I have built gratitude into this challenge intentionally. We have a full day exercise on gratitude, but I want you to be doing this at least on a weekly basis throughout the challenge. And I think that just developing a daily gratitude practice is so powerful. So we'll talk a little bit more about that when we do the deep dive into gratitude, but I want you to list out some things, some specific things from the past week here. And then there's space for additional comments and thoughts. You know, this is a great place to do some free journaling, maybe set a timer and just journal out anything that comes to mind for you. It's super therapeutic, and it's a practice that I highly recommend. It has been life-changing for me. So anyway, that's it for week 1 is in the books. Tomorrow we're going to talk about a self-care schedule, what types of things you should be putting into your self-care schedule, and how to make yourself a priority even if it makes you feel guilty. All right, thanks for tuning in, guys. I appreciate you going through week 1 with me, and I'm looking forward to diving into our self-care module tomorrow. So have an awesome day, and I will see you guys then. Bye.